How did I turn years of family history into my debut novel? Photos and historical records provided much about Freddie's life, where he lived and worked, but I didn't want a clean historical account. To bring Freddie to life, I had to invent scenes which never appeared in any archives. Freddie had epilepsy, and I thank Professor Richard Chin of the University of Edinburgh, an expert in epilepsy, for helping me understand how this condition would have affected Freddie's life, and how it was viewed in the 1800s. The following extract is my fictional account of when Freddie had his first fit. It was a beautiful hot summer's day as the last loaf went into the stove, moisture clammy on Rebecca's face, streams of it running down her back. It was hard work, this weather, though the light breeze coming through from the scullery cooled her ankles. The children were happily playing, running in and out, round the garden, stopping only for cold drinks to keep them going. "Come on, Freddie, follow me again," said Maud, as she ran out of the kitchen. Rebecca took little notice as they played. "Rebecca!" Maud called. "What is it, Maud?" her face still to the stove. "Rebecca, look at Freddie!" When she turned to see him, he was standing and jerking, his arms rigid and his mouth a little red with blood. "Maud, I want you to go and fetch Mama quickly." "It's all right, Freddie," Rebecca said softly, trying to hold his shoulders while his stiff body shook. By the time Alice came from the parlour, Freddie was on the ground. Rebecca tried to stay calm, but her belly churned and thoughts of what to do flooded her mind. "Oh, Mrs. Tyler, I turned from the stove and he was shaking. His arms were all rigid. Then he fell down and started this jerking. There's some blood round his mouth. Fetch the doctor, please, Rebecca, and go for Mr. Tyler on the way." Rebecca ran so fast to number 11 she almost tripped up the steps. "Mr. Tyler, come quickly. It's Freddie. I'm going to fetch Dr. Sayer." Rebecca arrived with Dr. Sayer, who asked for space to administer to Freddie, spoke to him in a low voice. Did he behave in any unusual manner before he fell? I didn't see Dr. Sayer. I was at the stove with my back to him, and when I turned round, he was just standing there rigid, and then he fell forward. Dr. Sayer put a cloth to Freddie's mouth as soon as his jaw relaxed, and stood to face Alice and Alfred. He paused before speaking. "I think he may have had a convulsion. And this blood, you see, is because he's bitten his tongue. Fairly common in convulsion, as the teeth clamp down hard. He's beginning to come out of it now. His muscles are relaxing. He's coming back to us. It's nothing to worry about. Many children have these and grow out of them in time. Freddie will too, I'm sure." These discharge papers confirm that he tried unsuccessfully to succeed. His time in the Navy as a boy lasted only 3 months. As a private in the Army, not much longer. He was discharged on both accounts for medical reasons. Along with other documents, I developed a picture of a man struggling with inner conflict. After that, however many times Mama and Papa said they were not disappointed, I couldn't settle. Failing again played on my mind. I wanted to hide away somewhere, take my heavy body and lay it down with my head buried. When I remember it, I can see myself in my room, sitting on the floor with my knees up, head down, crying. Maud tried to talk to me. Usually she would be able to make everything better. But I told her there was no future I could see for myself. However hard I tried, bad thoughts crept into my head. It was like standing at a deep pit. I saw its edges crumbling with the weight of my feet. I didn't know how to step back from it. It was like being between bright sunlight and a deep, dark hole. One day, when the heaviness in my heart was too much to bear, I fell into it, covered in its darkness. I didn't notice how time passed, and afterwards, I learned that Maud had come every day after work. She sat with me, and though I don't know how she did it, I began to feel things again in my body. I could think about life outside the pit, of what I used to enjoy, my family. I began walking along the beach again, smelling the freshness, feeling the wind, and realised I was alive. Freddie emigrated to Canada, which is well documented. He sailed out of Liverpool on the Polynesian in 1882 at the age of 19. I used this information to write a completely fictional story of his time there. I made him succeed with his amazing friend William. A lot more research had to be done to create the settings and the sort of life he must have had. The following is a fictional scene of Freddie and William when they first arrive at their plot in the township where they're trying to build their first home, a sod house. "How long have we been lying here?" I asked. "I don't know, but I think we need to start some work or we'll waste what's left of the daylight hours. And by the way, do you know you stink?" William said. "Well, of course I do. I've been in these clothes for days. Do you know you stink too?" We laughed at ourselves, and I was amazed to know that I could say such things to him. Unloading the cart quickly, we let the ox wander. By the time it was done, our belongings were spread across the grass in 2 piles. Things we needed now, and those that could wait. The cart we left where it was, thinking we'd need it for shelter tonight. "Can you remember how to start the sod house?" I asked. "Sort of, but I've got the guide somewhere, in one of my bags. It explains it. See if you can find a large flat space we can use as the floor, and I'll find the book." We had the floor, instructions, and the right tool for cutting the sods, but neither of us moved. The task was huge. Doing something so much more difficult than knowing how to do it. I took up the spade, tried to cut a slice of sod the right length and width. It was heavy going. The land never worked, was hard. The grass never cut tall. And in truth, I had no idea how to use the tool. "Perhaps we should turn the spade round and use the side rather than the end," said William, after a few tries, which produced only scraps of turf and holes in the ground. "I don't know, but at this pace we'll never have a roof over our heads." We were laughing so much we doubled over, shook with it, eyes streamed with tears. Somehow it didn't seem to matter if we had shelter, so happy were we. Voices in the distance made us turn. A group of people ambled towards us. They called, chatted and laughed among themselves, no doubt at seeing 2 raw immigrants. "We heard you as we drew near," said a man. "We've come to meet our new neighbours." Freddie returned from Canada, taking a job in London, but his medical problems continued to make life difficult. Back in his hometown of Brighton, he had an operation, and then found work at Brighton train station. Here's a fictional scene of him there. I got work as a porter with the railways at Brighton station. A gentleman known to Papa recommended me. The station was a magnificent building, and though I had seen it for the purposes of travel, I'd never really considered its beauty. As I approached it that first working day, I stopped to admire its architecture, with its rich decoration and central clock. The goods yard was east of the main station, so I made my way to the right and found someone who could show me where to go. The work was tiring, with long hours of hauling goods from one platform to another. The loading of carts and vans heavy too, but I didn't mind. My legs no longer hurt, walking became pleasurable, and I did not want time to think, with Ellie so far away, and William's presence still so raw. I sometimes wept for him. I wanted to fill the hours to be busy. My favourite task was that of delivering around the town, for then I was able to sit behind the horses and watch the comings and goings of residents, but this was a rare pleasure. I came to know the townsfolk, often stopping to talk with P.C. Farncombe, who I got to know well, interested as he was in my Canadian adventure. Not the same with men at the station. They had mostly been there a long time. Getting to know them was difficult, although I had more confidence now. But they were aloof. They noticed my nowhere times, which became more frequent in my desire to be part of the group. They thought me lazy, a daydreamer, and were not above speaking of it in my hearing. Freddie's story became the central pillar of my retirement and resulted in something I could never have foreseen, a new career as an author. If you want to see how his journey unfolds, you can read The Pledge, available at Amazon, in print, ebook and audio. Do you have a story discovered through genealogy? Don't stop at the facts. Look beyond into what those people left behind. You never know. You could become something unexpected as a result.